if that kitchen's in the corner, I'm not buying that house. Like, and if it's done, if it's renovated, we not buying that. Hi, it's Elena of Financial Demics, where I give you the tips and tools to manage your money, increase your savings and your income, and decrease your debt. And today I am giving you an update on my 2021 money goals. And I also included my biz goals in that video, so we'll talk about those also. I have my notes here. My phone is charging, so you know. All right, so I'm going to start from the third goal and go for it. So one of the goals that I had for 2021 was to work towards paying off my student loan. So as you know, student loans or public student loans are deferred, like there's no payments, no interest until January 31st, 2022. So I decided to save my student loan payments because I wasn't sure exactly what was going to happen with everything going on. So instead of making that payment to my student loan servicer, I actually made the payment to myself into a separate savings account marked student loans. And so if we came out of it, no issue, perfect. But if we needed that money, I wanted to have that money to the side, especially because I had known of people who were laid off at the beginning of everything happening, like in March and April. And basically 6 months later, they went through their emergency funds already, like they had tapped into it heavily, or either their emergency funds were gone, because even though everybody felt like, oh, you're getting all this unemployment and blah, 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 unemployment is not 100% of your salary. And even with the extra, it just wasn't working out for a lot of people. And so I just wanted to make sure we were taken care of properly. And so I just want to put that extra money to the side. So I continue to do that all year. So when payments start back up, I am going to basically make that payment from that account. I'm going to move all that money towards my student loan on January 31st, 2022. So I have continued to save for payments on my student loans. So I did achieve that goal. I continue to do it, and I'm glad that we did not have a situation where we had to dip into that account. So the second thing I had was to build our emergency fund back up. We had to take a little bit of money out of the emergency fund at the end of 2020. It wasn't something I wanted to take out money for, but I was just like, let me go ahead. It's just easier that way. So that's what we did. I wanted to add that money back to the emergency fund. And so in my June update, I think I said something else occurred. So, or it was July, one of those months. I'll link it. But I said something else occurred where we were just a little bit off from the goal because we had to basically cash flow a couple of unexpected situations that occurred. So we have hit that goal. We hit that goal back in September. So the emergency fund is back where I would like it to be. So I am happy about that. And then the biggest goal that we have for the year was to purchase another house. I had mentioned that we were looking for a home and we were going to start the process around mid-year. We did start the process. Definitely were pre-approved. And I think I mentioned in my update video, what's on the market is on the market, right? Wait, let me say this right. Let me say it right. Okay, so I've mentioned this to other people before, and so I'm trying not to sound, I mean, it is what it is. However I sound is however I sound. So we do know it's a high market right now, which is not the issue per se, because we already kind of know what price range we want to be in. There are some homes in that price range for sale where we live. Do we like those homes? No. And it's not really about how can I explain this best? Let me say this. So I live in a very old city. And so the houses here, and I've lived other places. So the houses here are not, most of them are not cute. Like, and I'm not even trying to be funny. I am a homeowner, so don't try to come for me in the comments with the nonsense. I've bought a house before. My husband has owned a house before also. So it's not about like, oh, the house has to look a certain way. If you remember from that video, or if you saw it, we were looking for a house that basically had no renovations done so that we could go in and make the house the way we want the house to look. And maybe, I don't know if I'm gonna do it or not, maybe I'll put some like pictures of like a house or something, like a house on the market, to kind of give you an idea of what we're talking about. But basically, it is hard to buy a house where you don't like the structure of the house itself. So a lot of the houses here where we live, we don't even like the structure of the outside of the house. Like, it ain't cute. I'm sorry. It's just not it. And it's not that like it needs new siding or needs painting. That's easy. Like, that's easy. The house is ugly. So it narrows down our choices, right? There's only a couple of styles of houses that we actually like here, and we actually agree, which is funny. We don't have like, we're not one of those couples where we're like, one person likes one style and the other person likes the other style. We actually agree on the types. We have several types of houses we like, or a few, I'll say. But the rest are all very much so very similar in type. And those houses we just don't care for. And so there's a lot of those for sale. The houses we like, those are like one in a, I'm gonna say one in a million. It's probably not 1 in a million, but you know, it's very hard to find for sale. So a lot of those are not for sale right now, which is part of the issue. And then also another part of the issue is if we do find one that's for sale, the renovations are already done. And I know a lot of times people want to say like, why don't you move in that? Because a lot of times the renovations are done by flippers. And first of all, the quality of materials are not going to be good. Also, I don't know if I mentioned this on the other video, but I definitely mentioned this to other people. But you know, when you are flipping a home, right? If you ever watch HGTV, they are definitely like not trying to spend too much money, right? Because the point is they want to be able to make the most money possible. And here, even though they would make a really good money if they did it, for some reason, they like to leave that kitchen in the corner. Yeah. And I'm pointing over there because the kitchen's in the corner, my kitchen's in the corner, and they'll have like a whole bunch of space where they could shift that kitchen over some, and yes, that includes plumbing and blah 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 blah. They don't want to do it. Even if it is possible, they don't do it. And so the houses that we've seen that were done, the finishes look great from the naked eye, right? But sometimes when you really look at it, it's just really, it's not good material. But then also, like, it's just that, like, they didn't use the space adequately. And so we feel like it's better to be able to purchase a home that doesn't have those updates. Because I don't want to walk into a home that I want to rip out the updates. Like, it's completely redone. And it's like, let's rip it out. Because you left that small kitchen in the corner when you could have brought that kitchen across. That's just the way I feel. Yeah, so we are currently kind of like, we'll see what happens. And so that's how we are right now. Like, we're just still looking, but it didn't happen. Boo. We were kind of up in the air about whether or not we should stay here for a moment also, but we probably are going to stay here. So we're going to take our time. I refuse to like purchase a house that's already done. That is not, I shouldn't even say done to my standards, but just, you know, like if that kitchen's in the corner, I'm not buying a house. Like, and if it's done, if it's renovated, we not buying that. If we can find a house that's not renovated, that is the style of house we like, then we'll definitely try to jump on it. You know, hopefully in the meantime, prices will drop. But we'll see how that goes. So that is all my money goals. So we hit 2 out of 3. All right, so let's talk about my biz goals. I also shared some biz goals for the year. The first one was to monetize my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is not monetized yet. And I will definitely say, and if you are a subscriber, you would know this yourself, there were certain periods where I was not posting videos, and that is because of the second goal. And so I had to figure out what to prioritize for a second. And so I had to prioritize that second goal to make that second goal happen faster, because that goal is time-based. So I'll talk about it a little bit more in a second, but just know I didn't monetize my YouTube channel. I did get to 1,000 subscribers, so I thank all of you all. I'm so happy for you all that you're here. So we're going into 2022 focused on getting this channel monetized. So my second goal was to pass the CPA exam. I have passed 3 tests. Woohoo, right? I have 1 more test to go. I was hoping to be able to originally sit for that test this month. I am not going to be able to sit for that test this month. I will sit for that test. It's already scheduled in January. Hopefully I pass it on first try. But That is why I had to like take mini breaks during the year, because the content of the CPA exam, even though I am an accountant and I am well versed and really good at what I do, and I'm not bragging, to just, you know who you are and be strong and sit in it. But with the CPA exam, it's 4 different tests on 4 different areas, and I am not in the audit space. Not the biggest fan of audit either, but I kind of like it, but so I took a break during the audit exam because I really needed to focus and make sure that I passed that exam. It can be tricky. So I had to focus on that, and that actually took me out of the game for probably about, I think I missed maybe about a month of videos with the audit exam, because I took the exam, I failed it by 1 point the first time, and then I took it again within two weeks, because when you fail by 1 point, like that was one question. Like what we not about to do is wait too long to retake it and forget everything, right? So I took it again within 2 weeks and passed it. That took me out of the game for about a month, which is why I wasn't posting. I took some time off, visited family, and then I started studying for my next exam, which was a regulation, which I passed on the first try. I passed that in November. If you look at my channel, you see I kind of went missing for a second in November, and that was because I was studying for my daggone exam. Like once I get to a certain point, I kind of like shut down and everything gets blocked. So that's what happened there. I'm about to take the last exam, and that's BEC if you're in the CPA space. I am pre-recording videos though, so I don't go missing during my shutdown moments. So we'll see how that goes. I'm taking that in January, so hopefully I'll be done in January. And just a little info about the CPA exam, which is why I had to prioritize it, is once you pass a section, you only have 18 months to finish all of your tests, or you start losing sections. So even though it seems like a long time, right? You just never know what exam is going to like hem you up. And especially if you're a person who is in the space, you know, like a person could pass the first 3 exams on the first try easily, and then like get stuck taking that last exam over and over and over again. So I wanted to give myself enough time just in case, especially because the last exam includes like managerial accounting, which I used to work in managerial accounting, like those type of decisions. So it's not easy to me, don't get me wrong, because there's different pieces that I didn't do, but it's not my favorite, right? And it includes cost accounting, which ain't my favorite either. I don't think that's nobody's favorite, but and it includes econ, which I'm funny enough, I'm kind of good with econ. It's just not my favorite topic. So, you know, we'll see how it goes, but I didn't pass that for the year, so that's another thing that didn't happen biz-wise for me. But hopefully by the beginning of 2022, you know, the girl that had the letters behind her name. Lastly was to increase the digital products on my website. So that is actually in progress. This is another thing that I have been working on all year, but just getting it up and focusing on the CPA exam, like that was kind of like my #1 focus. Everything's not up yet because there's some things I'm still tinkering with. If you go to my website, www.financialdemix.com, it is linked below. You should see some of the digital products that I already have on the site, and I plan on adding new digital products every single month. Not January per se, because you know, test mode, but from there we will be adding new products every single month. So that is the update on my 2021 money goals. Let me know in the comments below, how did you do with your goals? I'm okay that I didn't hit all of my goals. That is life for you, and because I've been doing this life thing for a while, I am used to pushing out goals when other priorities come into play. Do I like pushing them out? No, but you know, a lot of times I will say when I have to adjust, when I look back on it, I'm glad it happened the way it happened, because I can see the benefits that I wouldn't even have seen otherwise, right? So if you like this video, and I think you liked it if you're still here, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed already. I mean, you watched my whole video, like, come on, we friends now. And make sure you stay updated because I am going to be dropping my money goals for 2022 next. So be sure to be on the lookout for that video, and I'll see you next time.